Hey guys, Steve Kemp with the People, Not Titles podcast. Today we are out front of Baird Warner South Loop to talk to designated broker manager Nate Thompson. I'm so excited. Let's go. Hey, welcome to People, Not Titles podcast. I'm your host, Steve Kemp. It's June 10th. I am so happy today to have with us a wonderful Baird Warner real estate broker, designated managing broker, Nate Thompson.
Hey, everybody.
Nate, yep, nice to see you, Nate. Glad to be here. How's things going, first off?
Things are good. The weather's getting better, so we're seeing the market doing even better, and I'm excited about that.
Awesome. So, first question, Nate, did you grow up around here?
Born and raised in Chicago, absolutely.
Okay.
I went to Beasley Academic Center on 51st and State.
Okay.
And then when I got older, we moved out to the suburbs. I went to high school in the suburbs.
Where at?
TF North High School in Calumet City.
Okay.
After that, went away to college to Illinois State, and then found my way.
Redbird?
Redbird,
All
absolutely. Right. Laura Ellis is as well, yeah.
All right.
And then found my way back to the city of Chicago. I've lived in Oak Park. I've lived in Hyde Park. I've lived in, my mother lived in Naperville, so I'm very familiar with Naperville. And just kind of all different parts of the city.
Okay, great. And so let's get into you get out of college. What's your career path?
I went into finance.
Okay.
I actually ran finance for a construction company on the west side of Chicago. And I did that for a nice amount of years, handled the accounts payables and receiveables.
Was that your degree?
Yeah.
In finance? Okay.
Yeah. Well, business administration, actually.
Excellent.
And so I have the background of doing that. And, it was a great opportunity, great learning experience. And that actually led me into real estate.
Okay. How long ago was that?
Years ago?
Yeah, how many years ago?
That was now 8.
Okay.
Yeah.
And you started with what company?
Started with Caldwell Banker.
All right.
Yep.
And how was that experience? I mean, you're getting into sales. Did you do it part-time? How'd you pursue it?
Full-fledged, right in there doing
Whoa.
it. Not as an agent, though. So because of my administrative background, I actually came on and took over a team at Caldwell Banker. So I ran all of the administration portions of it, facilitated, everything with the agents and things like that, and pretty much was the second lead under the real estate agent at Caldwell Banker.
Okay.
Yeah. Which was an experience, obviously, because of the fact that the person that I was replacing was moving over to New York. She was getting married and moving over to New York. And at that point, she was moving and going over there in about a month. Ended up, I came on board. She left a week later. So everything real estate for me, absolutely, everything real estate for me was trial and error in the beginning of it. But I think that's what led me to being successful today, because I've had the experience of really getting in there, rolling up my sleeves, and learning the business.
Okay, and did you sell right out of the gate too, Nate?
Not right out of the gate, no. Okay. So I came on, and probably a year and a half into it is when I went and got licensed.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And did you ever consider yourself a salesperson? Like when you were, was that something that you were hoping to do? Or
yeah. So I still don't consider myself a salesperson,
That's
actually. So I love what I do. I love interacting with people. It's a great opportunity, a great experience to just meet new people across the board. I think that when you are discussing real estate, discussing either purchasing a home or selling a home, it's not really selling a person. It's more so developing that relationship with the person and just really gaining a friendship in the end. So it's kind of easy to not sell something when you know what you're talking about, when you're experienced with it, when you really know how to interact with somebody that you're now building a relationship with versus just trying to sell them a product.
So it's a natural course of a relationship gone well.
Absolutely.
For a real estate broker.
Absolutely. Some of the relationships that I had at the previous brokerage, I still have those. I don't believe in burning bridges. And so I still, will communicate with those people. We'll still interact. We'll still hang out periodically and things like that. Just because I believe in, wherever you go, it's a stepping stone. And so that was a great opportunity in the beginning, and now I'm in even better position where I am now.
So the beginning, what were your thoughts? Was there fears when you're initially getting into it? You left a career probably making some decent money, and now you're like, okay, I'm going to get into into
real
the
estate.
mix here.
Yeah, absolutely. It's always a fear when you make a transition into something else. But there's always a saying: you can forget everything and run, or you can face everything and rise. And I choose
Hold on. So there's a nugget there, right? You can forget everything and run,
or you can face everything and rise.
I love it.
Yeah, and I always choose to face everything and rise.
Okay.
Obviously, I mean, here I am now in the manager broker position for the South Loop office, and obviously that's a challenge, and it's going to be obstacles that you face on a daily basis to where you have to either forget everything that you've done in the past, or you can face it and say, I've done this before, I know how to approach it, and we're going to get through this.
So for a young agent just beginning, what's your counsel to them?
Yep.
What do you say to a person that's just beginning and just starting off even in sales?
Absolutely. So the first thing I would say is give it your all. Give it 100% every single day that you wake up. You never know what you're going to come across, who you're going to come across on a daily basis. So getting up with the mindset that today I'm going to accomplish something, whether it's in the business portion of it, whether it's in the people interaction portion of it, something's going to happen within the day that's going to get you further than where you were yesterday. And so so
give it your all.
Give it your all.
Yeah, show
Absolutely.
up. Put your
shoulder
behind the wheel.
Ready to go. Yep.
Okay, what else would you say to them?
Absorb as much as possible. I'm still a sponge. I listen to you. I listen
desperate
to you.
times, require desperate measures.
No, that's not at all. But I think absorbing as much as possible, soaking in all the information you can get. Obviously, some things that you soak in, you can always weed out the things that you don't necessarily need. But absorbing as much as possible and saying, I can use this at some point in my career journey.
When I first started my sales career, a person told me, listen, when you begin your sales career, you're going to put 10 units of energy in and probably get 1 unit of reward. But then eventually, as you get going and you start to build, you can then put 2 or 3 units of energy in and get 10 units of reward. So it starts to flip-flop. And so for you, when did you know this is going to be my career? Like, I got something here. I feel it in my bones. What was that point for you? What were the markers for that?
Early on, actually. It was more so when I started transitioning out of the administration part of it and into interacting with the clients on a daily basis, working with the attorneys hands-on, going to the closings, and seeing just how a closing will operate and things like that. Being able to go to properties and stage them, it was something that I already knew I loved watching. Yeah. But then when you're actually in it and invested in it, it's an entirely different feeling that you get.
Okay, so then you transition. So you went from Caldwell to Baird and Warner. Okay, what were the reasons for the change?
Opportunities.
Okay.
So going from leading a team of 8 people to having the opportunity to help and train and manage a larger portion of people, a larger group of people. I am all about seeing somebody's success. And I'm not selfish. I'm not the type of person that will hold any nugget that I have, hold it in. I'm the one that's going to dish it out and say, hey, you can do this, encourage them, motivate them, train them on how to do it properly in the right way. I've always been that person. So when the opportunity came up and they were opening the South Loop office, the opportunity to help build the office up to where it is today, incredible opportunity. So,
excellent. So Nate, when did you was leadership a natural thing for you? Is it a learned thing? Like when did you say? Have people said as they watch you operate, hey, I think Nate's a leader, or he's the captain of the team, or whatever it is?
Interesting. I've kind of have landed in leadership positions all my life.
Okay, let's talk about that.
Yeah, so grammar school, I was over the student body at the school, in the student council and all of that. Got into high school, and within my second year, had a position in leadership for the student council there. Advanced to the president for my junior and senior year.
Excellent.
I was actually sent to different trainings and leadership seminars throughout the summer breaks and things like that. So I was constantly nurturing myself and, developing and grooming myself to further advance in leadership. left there, obviously went away to college, was a part of the HBCU, the Black Union, Black Student Union there. So I did that portion of it. I actually led the gospel choir there, became the director for
Fantastic.
it.
We're not going to make Nate sing, but I'm tempted.
No.
I'm
I
tempted.
retired.
Okay.
I do real estate now. So overall, it's always been some type of leadership position or something that I always push myself to advance. Even when coming here and becoming the sales support manager at Baird & Warner, I pushed myself to get out there, get my manager broker's license, further my education so I can help the other agents, that are in the office and within the company kind of succeed and advance as well.
Okay, so I heard you're coaching for a new salesperson, work hard, and just stay in the game, always be a sponge. Okay, what about leaders? Someone that thinks, hey, maybe there's some leadership skill in me. What would you say to them? I see you, it's been kind of in your DNA the whole time, but what steps did you take, just to nurture it, to grow? Were mentors important to you?
Yeah, mentorship was huge. I actually look at all of my previous bosses, and even some of them that I may not even talk to anymore. I look at every situation that I've been in as a lesson to learn something from. Whether it is what you do want to do as a leader or what you don't want to do as a leader. Yeah. Absolutely. But I've always looked at it, taking it in and said, okay, yeah, this will be good to kind of trickle down to other people once I get in that leadership position. So as a leader or those who are, in leadership roles, my advice or my kind of guidance would be to kind of do a self-observation. See what works for you, see what's worked for you in the past, and provide that. Share that with people that are under you, under your leadership, under your mentorship. We have a lot of agents that are seasoned agents that, I feel at times need to do more of actually reaching down and grabbing somebody else and pulling them up with them, you know?
Okay, so let's talk about mentors.
Yes.
Because you mentioned some. Does anyone, I know it's risky just to mention one and not the other and all that kind of thing, but does anyone really jump out and go, this person really did it for me at the right time? Is there, and there, I'm sure there are many, so let's just talk about one,
Well, I'll go with inside the company.
Okay.
And I think that we have complemented each other in some sort of way. So I started off working with Scott Curcio at Caldwell Banker.
Wow.
And Scott has a drive out of this world when it comes to real estate.
You mean in terms of he has
the drive for every single day? For more? Absolutely. Yeah. And he's super successful at it. He was successful there. He's successful at Baird & Warner now in Lincoln Park. And his drive every single day, without fail, he got up and said, we are going to do business today. He had a very system in place. I think that we complemented each other in that way. I'm very organized. He's very organized as well. And so being able to see that, being able to learn this business under him, I think was a huge advantage.
So was he intentional about mentoring you, or was it just something you were like, hey, I found a nugget here. Yeah. I'm going to watch and I'm going to learn. So sometimes mentors don't declare themselves, I'm your mentor.
I don't really think that he declared himself as a mentor. I don't even know if he actually realized how much I was absorbing it and taking it in.
Fantastic.
What I did find, and the reason I say we complement each other is because I found that it was very hard for him to let me go when that came to Baird & Warner. But on the flip side, maybe a couple of months later, he actually called and said, what do you think of the company? I'm actually looking to make a switch. And he called me asking my advice about what I felt about Baird & Warner.
Well, that really speaks to your credibility.
Right.
With him.
And that's what I said.
Fantastic.
I think it's, I appreciate that. Yeah. I think that was a huge, just the fact that we got the call, he actually, released me and let me do that and all that. Some people can, that could be a sour subject, but it turned out very well. He's still with Baird & Warner today, and he's doing even better now. Okay,
great. So you became any other mentor you want to mention, Nate?
Well, of course, my mother. My family.
Now we get down to it.
Yeah, my family. They are a huge inspiration. They've supported me in everything that I've done from day one, and it's been incredible to just look at my mother's a CPS teacher for 30-something years now. My father's a manager of a food product that services Jewels and all of the major grocery chains, and both of them, with their work ethic, has been incredible. The push that they've given my sister, my little brother, we have, I think, all grown to be very successful in our own industries. And I definitely
Excellent.
appreciate that.
So home life was, so anything your mother said or did, or a turning point that was like, besides just taking you from the diapers to out of the house.
Not really what she said, more so leading by example. I think that
What kind of examples? Give me a for instance.
her character, her class, her demeanor, her professionalism, her drive. She's always the same way that she is with students, teaching them and saying, hey, you can do better, or you can do this, and the encouragement that she provided. Same for me. I feel that I do that with agents on a daily basis.
And you see some teachers that they're building in the kids all day long, that when it comes time to come home, they're tired of building into them, and it's kind of like the carpenter that has all the projects around the house that aren't done, but they're fixing everyone else's house. It's so great that she was able to also build into you and your siblings.
Yeah, I never had to go to summer school, but I remember when she taught summer school, some of those summers, she actually still brought me in to just be there and be a part of it, and I think that education is key, and we've all, again, my
she stressed it, she emphasized it.
Yeah, sister's a high school teacher, little brother's a marketing analyst for social media and all that.
Excellent.
So, yeah.
Okay, great. So, all right, you were sales support manager here, and then the broker manager position opens up. And so do you think, I have it, or are you questioning yourself, or what's happening there? I mean, I know how that is. You're the next step. It's a gulp. It's like, it's really showtime here.
Yeah. It all kind of was a shock. I'm super excited about the opportunity. I'm loving every minute of it.
And
the challenges, thank you.
Yeah.
The challenges, the day-to-day things that come up, that you have to deal with. But outside of that, it was okay, I know I can do this. How I'm going to do it, this is a great question, because now I'm not going to somebody else and picking their brain. It's now more so I'm actually leading by example when it comes to the office. One of the things that I feel I do as a manager is I'm transparent. I've always been transparent. I feel that what generates the trust amongst the staff, amongst the agents, is the fact that it's an open door policy. You can feel comfortable coming to speak to me, and then anything that I get that I think is relevant and you need to know, I'm going to bring it to you. I don't make any decisions personally. I actually bring it to the staff. We discuss it, and then collectively we say, yeah, I think this is the best
wisdom in many counselors, right?
Yeah, absolutely. And it's worked. I think that, again, we've developed the trust to where the office and the culture of the office is so strong because we are really one team.
So I hear open door policy. What about tough conversations? How do you feel about those? How do you address, how do you handle those?
Yeah. So I try to handle it as soon as possible.
So something's on your mind, you want to get it out there, and you want to talk about it.
Yeah, I'll reach out to the agent or whoever is dealing with. I will try to address it as soon as possible, because I don't believe in letting things surface. I don't want it to blow up into something that it doesn't have to be. I think a lot of things, it could be because of lack of communication, or just because it's just a difference of opinion. And so if we lay it out there on the table and find some type of common ground, we address it, properly. So that's my biggest thing, is to make sure that we are always on one accord. That won't always happen, obviously. But if we're not, let's address it. Let's get it out of the way, and then let's move on and move forward.
So Nate, if someone's looking to get into real estate and they have choices, right? They're sitting down with you. Why do they have a better chance of being successful? And I know that it could be fit as well in those things. Why do they have a better chance of being successful if they join you and your team?
Absolutely. So for me, I am very hands-on. I'm not the type of leader that is going to say, hey, do this, and not actually show you how to do it or sit with you and do it. So I've always been the hands-on trainer, educator, and to the point where when you're out there in the field, in the industry, I want you to be comfortable with what you're doing. I want you to know what you're doing versus guessing it, going off of a wing, things like that. I want you to develop yourself in this industry to where you are understanding the process.
Yeah, training and preparation is a big staple of your whole operation here. It seems like and you have a lot of events happening where people are really getting geared up and equipped.
Yeah. I mean, obviously we'll have paperwork. We have things that I have to get done as a manager, but I will set that to the side, do it before operating hours or after office hours. But I want to make sure that you understand the process. And so I set up meetings, accountability meetings with agents. I'm sitting there, I'm discussing, what could have been done in this situation versus this one, all of that. Very hands-on.
So Nate, speaking of leadership, really the last 90 days has been a real test for any leader.
Yes.
We head into this period of time where you wonder if we're going to even be allowed to do business. So maybe take us through just your thought process. And we know that people are on all ends of the spectrum, from fear to cavalier. And how do you lead during this time? I mean, how have you done it?
So the first thing that I've done is, again, visible and transparent.
Visible and transparent.
Visible and transparent.
Another nugget.
The first thing that I actually have done since day one of being on lockdown or the city being shut down is I've done a video to my office every single day. Every morning, hey, here's what's happening today. Here are the trainings. And then I try to end it with some type of encouragement for the day. Whether that's just, you guys are doing an awesome job, keep it up. Whether it's, I understand a lot of mixed feelings are going on right now. That's understandable. That's welcomed. But let's stay focused. It's been, obviously, the news and media has put out a lot out there. I think that trying to get everyone to stay focused on our goal, our vision, and our job. Our job is to provide expertise in real estate. And so on a daily...
So there's a lot of noise going on out there, and you're like, okay, no, let's get focused here. Here's what we do. We're not going to chit-chat about all these different things and speculate.
Yeah.
We're going to do what we have to do.
We provide our piece of it is providing knowledge on what's happening in the market, if it's the right time to purchase, if it's the right time to sell, all of that. And that's what I've been trying to streamline and focus. Happy to say that our March, April, and May of this year was better than our March, April, and May of 2019. So
don't say wow, but I'm going to say wow.
Right. So in the middle of everything going on, as an office, we've still been strong. Yeah.
Excellent. Way to go. So, okay, now we got these last couple of weeks, Nate, that have just been a real test for everyone. And again, all kinds of ranges of emotions. How do you lead? You have a diverse office. How do you lead through that? And I know it's like, I don't know. You tell me. How do you lead through that?
You have to be respectful of where people stand, regardless of what they think of everything that is taking place. As a leader, as a manager, you have to respect that position. You also have to be careful not to get your own personal opinions mixed in with how you should lead an office. And so, of course, I have my own thoughts about it.
Sure.
And I'm sure other agents do as well. Again, keeping that focus on our job is to do real estate. So what
I love that, Nate. I really do. Our job is to do real estate.
Yeah.
Keep them, keep it simple.
Yeah. And so what I've done, clarity, absolutely. And what I've done to try to keep the focus within the last couple of weeks is focus on the communities that were affected by everything that took place. So the damage that was done to some of the, due to some of the riots and things like that. How are we as an office stepping up and serving the communities that we do with real estate on a daily basis? So we're cleaning up, we're volunteering to clean up. We're giving back to some of the communities that we serve in terms of a food drive and canned goods and things like that. So what can we do to show that not only do we service you in terms of selling a home or purchasing a home or even renting, but what are we doing as a office and as a company to step up and say, while your community is down, how are we building you back up?
Servant leadership.
Yep.
Okay. Nate, you seem like a really centered guy. Is there a routine is there a daily routine? Is there a practice? Is there something that you say, this keeps me centered? this helps me go into my day, prepared?
First, so in my bathroom, this might be too much information. In my bathroom, I actually have a picture up, a nice size picture on the wall that says "Grateful every day," and I actually look at it every single morning. And that's how I start my day. I am just grateful for the opportunity to have another 24 hours to do what I do, to love what I do, and you never know what the day will bring you. But I am the type of person that mentally I have the positive mindset to where I am trying to figure out how to get whatever done the best way possible. How can we impact someone? How can I impact someone in a positive way?
Fantastic. Yeah. How about nighttime? Like you just, what do you do at night? Is there another routine? Is there another thing you look at?
Nighttime, I am trying to decompress. So I'll probably have a glass of wine.
All right. I like that too.
Yeah. Glass of wine. I love music. Absolutely love music. And so I can put on an album and just kind of chill out, listen to that. I like food, so trying out new restaurants, things like that. But just something to decompress from the day and mentally prepare myself for the next day.
Fantastic. Yeah. So Nate, I wrote some words down.
Okay.
So I've been a colleague of yours for how long have you been here?
Almost 4 years now.
4 years, yeah. Okay. And I still remember when you came here. And so I have respect. You're so respectful. I have servant leader down here. I have gracious. There's a humility to you and the way you operate that is noticeable. I have you as strategic. That you are a person that is thinking, learning, growing. I saw it from the beginning, and I see it just coming out in this. I see you as a businessman, and I see you as a really great communicator. And it's one of the reasons we want to have you on the podcast.
I appreciate it. Yeah.
I would just say that we honor you, and we're so grateful. People Not Titles podcast, we're so grateful to have Nate Thompson with us. And we'll have his contact information in the description box. And we just want to say thanks for having us in your office. By the way, we're in the middle of the South Loop.
We are. Yeah.
Maybe just give us your information here, what your address and stuff like that.
Yeah. So Nate Thompson, South Loop, managing broker. The address is 620 South Dearborn, Chicago, Illinois 60605, and the number to contact the office directly is 312-414-3300.
Excellent. And the office is people are here and they got a cup of coffee waiting for it.
We're doing business. Absolutely.
We're doing business.
Yeah.
Thank you, Nate.
Thank you so much.
Yeah,
Thank you for the opportunity.
Blessings.
Yeah.